Good morning, beautiful friends. Today I'm going to be harvesting and preserving some herbs. So I want to bring you guys along with me. The first thing I'm going to harvest this morning is lemon balm, Melissa officinalis, which is in the mint family, and it will spread. It will spread a lot in your garden. So I try to harvest it a good many times before it goes to flower, and that'll just help with taking over the whole garden. But it also spreads by the rhizome roots. See, that's already going to flower and seed, and that's not a bad thing though, because the honeybees and pollinators love lemon balm flowers. They love it. Melissa actually means bee in Greek, I believe. It's a great plant to add to your garden for your bees and pollinators. It's a wonderful plant to add to your garden as a ground cover. It really helps suppress the weeds as well in your garden. And it smells heavenly. So that fragrance also becomes a pest confuser for bad guys in your garden. So it's a great companion plant for your vegetable garden. And it is incredibly high in awesome medicinal properties. It is a calming herb. It is a nervine herb. So it's very calming and relaxing. And referred to as the gladdening herb just because it makes you happy. It has that citrusy fragrance to it, and it's one of my faves, one of my favorites. If you are new to herb gardening or herbalism, this herb, lemon balm, is one that I highly suggest you start with. This is a great one to begin with because it's really easy to grow. It offers so many benefits to the garden, and it's so versatile in its medicinal properties and ways that it can help you medicinally. So lemon balm is definitely on my top list of herbs that I think everybody should be growing and using. Next to my friend lemon balm here is lemon verbena. And this is another one of my favorite herbs. I've been harvesting it a lot this summer, and every time it recovers and grows back up, I cut it and harvest it again. I want to get as much lemon verbena as I can into my apothecary. So I'm going to give this another good harvest today. Lemon verbena also has that wonderful citrus fragrance and flavor, and it is an awesome one to add to our teas, which is what I primarily do with it. I'm harvesting it pretty good, but not all the way to the ground. I'm leaving enough so that it still has some leaves on it. I got lemon basil in here too, and you can see that's what this is. I've harvested a little bit off of that, but I'm basically just leaving it, letting it go to flower for the bees. Lemon verbena is one that sometimes it will be a perennial for me, and sometimes it dies completely out in the wintertime. And this past winter, it completely died. So I had to replant these here this spring, and I've never tried lemon verbena from seed. I've always just done it from a plant start that I got at the nursery. This is another favorite lemon herb. This is lemongrass, and it is so beautiful in the garden. I love how big and beautiful it gets, in this beautiful form that it takes in the garden. When the wind blows, as you can see, it just brings movement to the garden, and you can smell the lemon fragrance from the lemongrass as the wind blows it. It is really, wow, the wind's right on cue for me. It is a wonderful herb for your garden and for your apothecary. So I am going to be harvesting some of this lemongrass today as well. I use it a lot in my teas, my herbal tea blends, and I use the lemon balm, lemon verbena, lemongrass, lemon thyme, lemon basil in cooking as well. It's really good for vegetables, for chicken, fish, anything really. I have a lemon seasoning blend, herbal blend, that I made a few years ago. I've still got plenty of it. And lemongrass, lemon verbena, lemon balm, garlic, rosemary, lemon thyme. Those were some of the herbs that I used in it. We have the recipe for that is on our website, justdigitfarms.com, so you can go to herbal recipes and find that if you'd like to have it. There's so many different beautiful ways that you can get herbs into your body, into your system, and just into your life. Of course, the most common that most people do is culinary, to cook with our herbs. And that is a delicious and wonderful way to get it into your body and enjoy it. Herbal teas is probably my second favorite way to use herbs and to get them into your body and system. Herbal tinctures, herbal oxymels, salves, ointments, lotions, baths, aromatherapy. There are so many different ways that you can use herbs. And herbs have so many wonderful benefits for our body. I truly believe that God gave us these plants, these herbs, flowers, different plants on earth. He gave us these in His creation so that we could heal ourselves as medicine for our bodies and for ailments and for sicknesses. And I truly believe that this is God's medicine. This was His design for healing for us. I will be able to harvest this again before the winter, maybe even a couple of more times. That's also the beauty of herbs. They want to be used. They don't want to just be planted in the garden and left alone. They want to be used. So the more you cut them and use them, the healthier they're actually going to be, and the more they're going to produce. It's a little bit humid out here today. I got a basket full of lemongrass, lemon verbena, lemon balm. Behind me here is my passion flower vine, and it completely died all the way to the ground this winter. And this is just this year's growth. I mean, look at this passion flower vine. It is so awesome. I love it. And these flowers are the coolest flowers. Butterflies love it too. Look how cool these flowers are. So each day I've just been coming out and looking for any flowers that are fully opened and harvesting them. I always leave a few for the butterflies, of course, but it's pretty prolific. They open up all throughout the day. Aren't they cool? They look like something from outer space, I would imagine. This is feverfew, and I haven't had very much of this year. It hasn't produced a whole lot, but each day I just take a look at it, and if it's flowering, I go ahead and harvest what flowers are on here and dry them. So even though we don't have a lot, I'm at least getting a little bit each day. The best time to harvest herbs is in the morning, after the sun has come up and dried up the dew or water that's on the herbs, on the plants, but before the sun becomes too intense, because once the sun starts hitting those herbs intensely, then they start losing their volatile oils. And the volatile oils in your herbs is where the medicinal properties are. It's where the most fragrance is, the most potency is. So the best time to harvest your herbs is in the morning after they're dry, before the sun gets too intense. This is our old friend Echinacea, and I've got just a few flowers here. I'm going to go ahead and collect these and those leaves. I'm sure most everyone is familiar with Echinacea as an immune boosting herb. It is pretty famous for that. And I usually make a tincture out of Echinacea that we can take during the winter time when we feel like we're getting sick. And I've got plenty of tincture going. So I'm going to try something a little bit different with these Echinacea flowers. This is my blue butterfly pea. I have some in 2 different beds on these trellises. And every day I've just been coming out and I harvest these little blue flowers when they're opened up. And I'm taking them in and drying them for tea. This blue butterfly pea is just such a delight to grow it. So beautiful in the garden. So much fun to come out here and harvest these flowers every day. And it makes a really fun tea or Kool-Aid, or I made popsicles last year for my grandbaby, and I plan to make some this year for my grandbabies. So it is a really beautiful little flower. So we've got a nice little collection of herbs that we've harvested here together this morning. And this is about all I'm going to be able to preserve today. It takes a while to preserve all of this once you harvest it. So I try not to pick more than I can handle in a day. So we're going to take these inside to my kitchen and we're going to preserve these together today. And by the way, if you're new to our channel, I'm Tracy and welcome to Just Dig It Farms. This is my potager garden where I grow the majority of our vegetables. We have an orchard in here where we grow fruit, vegetables, herbs, flowers, roses, all of the things. My potager garden, I like to say, is where beauty and function meet. And it is a beautiful place. It is my beautiful refuge and sanctuary. And I love bringing you guys along with me to my garden. So if you're new to our channel, welcome. I am so glad that you're here, and I hope that you will consider subscribing so that you can join us each week in our garden, on our farm, and in our kitchen. And if you're not new to our channel and you've been here a while, welcome back, friend. Okay, I'm gonna start with my blue butterfly pea. All of these are already dry. They're completely dry, and that's one thing you want to make sure. Whenever you're drying your herbs, you want to make sure that they are completely dry before you store them. because if there's any moisture left in your herb, then it's going to cause your herbs to mold while they're in storage. One way you can test your herbs and make sure they're dry, if you're just not sure, is to go ahead and put them in your mason jars, put your lid on them, and then set them somewhere where you'll see them so that you can check them over the next few days. If you see any kind of moisture or condensation inside your jar, then just go ahead and open them up and lay them back out to continue drying, because that means they're not completely dry. But if you're unsure, that's just a little way to test them. These are the ones we just harvested today. So all I'm gonna do is just lay them out on this tray. So I just take them and I don't lay them on top of each other. I just spread them out. Lay them on this tray and let them dry. I like to infuse these little flowers, dried or fresh, into some water and make a tea with it. And then from that, you can either just add some honey and drink some hot tea, or you can put it in the refrigerator and make it cold, and you can make like a Kool-Aid out of it for your kids, grandkids. And last year I did a little thing where I made popsicles with it. I just added cream to the tea and got popsicle molds and made little yummy popsicles for my grandbaby. So I'm planning to do that again and make popsicles with my grandkids soon. And a cool thing about this blue butterfly pea is when you add lemonade to it or something acidic, it changes colors. And that's like a fun little science experiment. Got them all laid out, spread out in here. And I'm just gonna put them in my laundry room here. I've got a shelf where I hang my herbs to dry, or I set my trays or baskets in there to let my herbs dry in there. This is our echinacea, or purple coneflower. And I'm actually going to take these and just hang them up. I'm going to tie them in bunches and hang them up and let them dry. So echinacea is an amazing herb. We all know it's an immune boosting herb, but it's great for so many different things. And you can use all parts of this plant. So you can use the leaves, the flowers, the stems, the roots. You can use every part of this plant. And it's just a matter of harvesting it at the right time. So the leaves are more potent and have more medicinal properties when they're new foliage and new leaves before it actually goes to flower, because the energy is mostly in the leaf. And then when it starts to develop its flower, you want to just harvest the flower when it's fully open and, you know, in good shape. Now that one's a little bit further gone than it should have been when we harvested it, so I might cut that one off, but the others still look good. And then on the root, if you want to harvest and use the root, where actually that is the most potent part of the plant. To harvest the root, you'll need to wait till mid to end of fall, when the plant has completely died back and all of the energy is going into the root of the plant. Then you can dig out the root and harvest it and use it then. Now, when you harvest that root, you're sacrificing your plant. So the best thing to do is to let your echinacea plant get fully established over 3 years or so or more. It will multiply, it will spread, and you'll have more and more of the plant. And then it won't hurt to harvest some of that root, and you'll still have your plant. But if you take all of the root, you won't have a plant next year. So just keep that in mind when harvesting the root. So today I'm just going to be hanging these. I'm going to tie these with some twine, and I'm going to hang these up in my laundry room / pantry / herb drying room. I'm just gonna tie this on here and hang it on my shelf and let it dry over the next couple of weeks. So that's what I'm gonna do with these. But these I've harvested weeks ago. You can see that these are completely dried echinacea flowers and a few leaves. And I'm going to take these and make an infused honey with them. So I like to use dried herbs when I'm infusing honey. You can use fresh herbs, but it's recommended when you do that it goes in the refrigerator. It'll be more shelf stable if you use dried herbs when you're infusing your honey. Echinacea is great for fighting colds and flus. It's great for sore throats. It's great to build your immune system. Echinacea is just a great powerhouse to have during cold and flu season. And I have plenty of echinacea tincture behind me that I've made for the winter time. Honey, first of all, is incredibly medicinal in itself. This is antimicrobial, antibacterial, this is an antioxidant. It's healing. It helps soothe throats. It heals colds. It helps with cough. Honey is an incredible medicine in itself. Very, very good for you. Natural, raw honey. So this is our honey from our bees. We are beekeepers and we have bees, and we just harvested our honey a couple of weeks ago. We didn't get a whole lot because we've lost some bees to different issues. We're down to like 4 hives. So we really didn't get a whole lot of honey this year, but I've got 50 of these jars of honey on our shop. JustDigItFarms.com, the farm stand. We've got 50 of these for sale on our shop. Once they're sold, that's all we're gonna have until next year. And our honey is pure, raw, natural, organic honey. We don't use any kind of chemicals in keeping and tending our bees, and our honey's really good. So if you wanna get some honey, you can go check out our shop, JustDigItFarms.com. So echinacea is a great immune booster. It's great for fighting colds and flus. Honey's good for sore throats, coughing. It's like a natural antibiotic. So I'm going to combine the two and create like a little syrup for whenever we have a sore throat or a cough. So I'm just filling my jar. I'm going to fill it about 3/4 of the way full of these dried echinacea flowers. And like I said again, I'm using dried so that I can just store it on my apothecary chest back here, and I don't have to store it in the refrigerator. It's going to be more shelf stable because I'm using dried herbs. The thing about honey, when you put honey in the refrigerator, it crystallizes and it becomes solid, which isn't a bad thing. If you're adding it to hot tea, it's not a bad thing at all. It's just I want to be able to just spoon out, a good heaping tablespoon and take it if I want to. Okay, so I've got my jar about 3/4 of the way full of my dried echinacea flowers, and I'm going to take some of our honey and I'm just gonna pour it over it. Don't that look delicious? Yum. So we wanna just make sure that our herbs are completely covered in honey. Isn't that pretty? So I'm gonna put my lid on this. And probably every few days, I'm just gonna turn it upside down and let that honey just completely submerge in and infuse into the echinacea. And then I'll flip it over and do it again. Every day or every other day, every few days, whenever I remember to do it. And I'll put this in a in a sunny window and let it just infuse for about 4 to 6 weeks. And then I'll strain off the honey from the echinacea and just jar up just the honey. And then we can either add this to a hot tea, a hot toddy, or just take a tablespoon or 2 of it when we've got a cough or sore throat, or we feel a cold or flu coming on. I want to invite y'all to go check out our online shop. It's called The Farm Stand, and it's on justdigitfarms.com. And we have some really cute things on our shop. I'm very, very proud of it. And we've just created this new design, this little t-shirt here. It's got a pocket, and we've got herbs coming out of the pocket. Is that not so cute, y'all? And on the sleeve, we've got Just Dig It Farms. And it's available in this awesome brown. It's called espresso. It's available in a blue and in a moss green. Great colors. These are my most favorite t-shirts. These are comfort color t-shirts, and they are so comfortable. They feel so good to your skin, and they're very, very durable t-shirts. And I love our design. Jacqueline Head is my girl. I can tell her what's in my head, what my design and my vision is in my head, and she does a magnificent job creating it. So she's got these shirts made for us. They're on her shop. There's also a really cute canvas bag that has a pocket with herbs coming out of the pocket. It's really cute. These t-shirts are now available. We've got the canvas bags, our honey's on our shop. We've got a new hat that we're working on that's gonna be in this color, and it's not available yet, but it's coming real soon. So y'all go check out our shop and see if there's anything that you might be interested in. I highly recommend this shirt. It is super cute and super comfortable. We appreciate you all so very much for watching our content, for sending us all of your sweet, encouraging, kind messages and comments, and for supporting our shop and our small business and our farm. Thank you guys so much. Y'all go check out our shop, justdigitfarms.com, The Farm Stand. Now I'll show you what I've been doing with these passion flowers. So I've just been going out, like I said earlier, and picking whatever was opened up in full bloom. And I've got my jar here of 80 proof vodka. As I've been harvesting the flowers, I've just been submerging them into my vodka. And I think I've about got it full enough now. I'm just gonna take my knife and poke them down in there real good. Make sure they're completely covered with my vodka. So this is a tincture that I'm making, a passion flower tincture. Now I probably won't add any more flowers to this. So I'm actually going to put today's date on my lid. And I'm going to make sure that I let this infuse for at least 6 weeks. I'm probably gonna let it infuse a lot longer than that. I usually do. I usually leave it for 8 to 10 weeks or more, just so that it's very, very potent. So what is a tincture? A tincture is just your herb and your menstruum. And your menstruum is just your liquid that you're using to infuse the herb into. Alcohol is going to create your most potent medicine. Vodka is my favorite to use because it is a clear alcohol, and I like to use 80 to 100 proof vodka. If you don't want to use alcohol, you can use apple cider vinegar, you can use glycerin, or you can use alcohol. So a tincture is just your herb and your menstruum, which is your liquid, vodka, apple cider vinegar, or glycerin. and you let it infuse. I usually fill my jar up with like half of the herb. I don't really measure. I just use the old folk method where you fill your jar up with about half of the herb, and then you add your liquid and fill it completely to the top, making sure that the herb is completely submerged. And you can use dried herbs or you can use fresh herbs if you want to with this, because it's a liquid. So you don't have to worry about it molding or anything. So you can use dried or fresh herbs when making a tincture. Then we're gonna let this infuse for at least 4 to 6 weeks. I like to go 6 to 10 weeks on mine. And then you're gonna strain it off, strain the herb from the liquid, bottle the liquid up, and then you've got a tincture that will last for years. It is the most shelf-stable herb product that you can create. It will last for up to 20 years. Is what everything that I've read and been taught. So once you make a tincture, you've got a tincture for a long time. I also use passion flower in my Just Diggin' Z's herbal tea blend, which really helps to calm you down and help you have a good night's restful sleep. So this is my dried passion flower that I have here, and this is the leaves and the flowers that's dried, and some stems are in here, and that's the part of the plant of passion flower that you would use, the leaves and the flowers. Passion flower is a nervine. It is really great for the nervous system. So when you're laying there in bed at night and you've got all these anxious thoughts going through your head, or you can't go to sleep, you're stressed, you're worried, whatever, passion flower helps to calm your mind. It helps to get you in that restful, calm place. It's a sedative. It's really helpful for anxiety, for restlessness, for an over anxious mind. It helps with insomnia. It helps with like cramps, muscle cramps, menstrual cramps, headaches. It's also been known to help with shingles. It also helps with the respiratory system. It helps with coughing and asthma and lung respiratory issues. And it's been known to help lower blood pressure, especially when you have high blood pressure due to stress. So not only is passion flower a very cool vine and flower for your garden, it's a great host and nectar plant for your butterflies, and it is an incredible medicinal plant for your body and your system. So it's a good one to have in your apothecary. And I've got dried passion flower for my tea, and I've got a passion flower tincture going. We also harvested a few little feverfew flowers today, not many, but a few. And I've been harvesting them as they come in, and I've just been drying them. And what I want to do with these is I want to make a tincture with them, because feverfew is a great pain reliever. It's awesome for headaches, fever, pain. A feverfew tincture with a few drops under your tongue is a great thing to take for headaches versus aspirin or Tylenol. It is a nervine, so it's great for your nervous system. It is antimicrobial and antiseptic, and it's anti-inflammatory. So I'm gonna make a tincture with this. Remember I told you a minute ago that you can do a tincture with dried herbs or fresh herbs. So I'm going to make this tincture with both. I've got my dried herbs here that I've been working on drying. I'm gonna go ahead and just add some to this jar. Actually, I'm just gonna add all I have. I don't have that much feverfew this year. Feverfew does not, it's just like chamomile and calendula. It does not like our heat and humidity. And it just has not produced well for me this year. Okay, so I don't have a lot, but I've got a little bit here that we can make a tincture with. I don't have a lot of vodka left either, so. And this is 80 proof vodka. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this as I did with my passion flower tincture. I'm just going to put it in a cool, dark place. Give it a shake every day or every other day as I remember to do it. Let it infuse for 4 to 10 weeks. Then I'll strain it off and have my feverfew tincture. And then definitely don't forget to label it. So I always put what herb it is, 80 proof vodka, and today's date. So now we're left with our lemon balm, our lemongrass, and our lemon verbena. I'm going to go ahead and wash these. I feel like they need to be washed. And then I'm gonna spread them out on my countertops and let them dry, air dry a little bit. Then I'm gonna tie them up in bunches and hang them up and let them dry. Whatever will fit in the dehydrator, I'll go ahead and put in the dehydrator. But I'm just gonna let them hang dry, and then I will have all of these dried lemon herbs for herbal tea blends or herbal seasoning. I think this video is getting too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye right here. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today in the garden and in the kitchen, doing one of my most favorite things in the world to do, harvesting and preserving herbs. And y'all stay tuned because I'm hoping that we can do a lot more videos like this on herbs. God bless you. I'll see y'all next week in the garden.